Hopefully it work.
My neighbor got one of the coldest shovels I've seen out here on it. I don't want to. I know he paid a good penny for it.
Oh yeah, if it's one of them upgraded joints that you ain't never seen before, he probably got it off
Man, it's
TikTok.
like it's the same size as the sidewalk, so he can
Oh, it's a
basically
one and
just
done. Boom
literally he's
boom.
out here. He's knocking his whole front out, and
And
he's probably gonna have it all done in less than 10 minutes
oh yeah,
with this shovel.
yeah. See, do you see? In this
Yeah,
time they
works
making all
smarter
the
than I heard. And it's metal too, so you know it's getting right underneath that good. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
throw some salt on that, he gonna be back to concrete.
yeah, bro, yeah, buddy. And then this time, I was gonna say, in this time, they creating some. They got some little innovation, So they creating stuff that you be like, damn, okay.
Yeah, we just got hit with the two days in a row of good snow all day. So it's accumulated. It's a good 6, 7, 8. I'd say about almost good 9, almost 8 to 9 inches on the ground,
Oh man, so that
up
means
to the
you
middle of your boot.
thinking about moving to Texas soon, huh?
Nah, like I said, I always the soda pop always gonna be the crib, but I definitely want to get to a point where my paper is right, where I can live somewhere else in the wintertime. That's for sure.
Oh, in the
I
winter
can do
time, but you
without.
want to go back. You want to go back during the summer. Yeah, summers ain't too bad. Can't lie about that.
Man, what the summer in the soda pop is popping. Don't act like that.
See, me and Doug. See, all my summer memories is just I ain't done it since I was a youngster, but like we used to go fishing a lot. So I miss them
Oh
fishing
man,
days, man.
yeah, you already know, man. You go out there with the guys, we get some brews, we blow, we just sitting on the lake fishing, man. I don't even be tripping on catching nothing. And
Yeah,
normally when I go with people who fish, that we catching a gang of fish. So
yeah. You can't. That's the thing about fishing. It's just like life. It teaches you got to be patient. You can't be,
man,
you feel me? If you worry too much about what's happening and what's not going on and what you not getting, then it ain't gonna happen. It's just like a person chasing money, man. When you out there, if you was just a hustler, you hit the block. If you thinking about that money, man, it ain't gonna come. You ain't got the right strategies. You thinking too much about why it's not happening. When you just vibe, and then you see it just happen. You be like, oh, okay, okay, that's what I gotta do. Chill.
hmm
You know what I'm saying?
relax,
Yeah. How you feeling today though, man?
man. I'm cooling, man. It's midweek. You know what I mean? Vikings finally got back to winning in a major way. So
Mm-hmm.
it's I've been cooling, man.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about you, bro?
I'm wonderful. You see, I ain't putting up, we ain't even Vikings don't even get to make runner up, honorable
Nah,
mentions,
man. Nah, yeah.
none of that. But I love them.
We talk about them when we need to.
I love them though. They looked at that's what you need to do. Maybe that's what it is. We had a little bit too much spotlight on them boys, and they couldn't live up to the hype. So
Man, I don't even think it was that, man. I think somebody then tapped into our pod and was listening, man, because
they was running.
everything I said exactly is the blueprint. They ran it 34 times, they passed it 23 times.
That's all. Listen, you're gonna have to do that point blank. You got a young quarterback.
It's just common sense. You got a young quarterback.
Yeah,
Not only do you have a young quarterback, he's shown you as a young quarterback what's he's successful at. That was what he was successful with. You don't ask him to do a whole lot. You ask him to make sure he's making these big throws when he needs to,
yeah.
but you lean on the run game and you play good defense.
He's the pressure is already there, but you just want him to be. It's the same thing. Now you got all the pressure on him. He's thinking about doing what? Making a big play. So he can't focus right because he's like, damn, it's all on me. So
Man, you came out
he's
and passed it 65 times. Like, relax, man. Run the
yeah.
rock.
This is
With this defense, it's okay to punt. Like you don't have to go for the home run every play. Like every third down don't need to be a pass 16 yards downfield where he can get cracked for holding the weight in the ball to try to get it that far, or they done mixed up the coverage, so now he's holding it because he's still waiting and he's shook. Versus just it's 3rd and 9, run the ball. You get 8 yards, okay. You get 5, you still got a punt, but oh well, it's not a
Oh well.
turnover.
And not only
Turnovers is
that,
with our defense. We should have been leaning on them. We should have been leaning on the
yeah.
defense and leaning on, and not in a way to where we're turning the ball over to lean on them. No, we're leaning on them because we're just shit ain't we're not it just ain't popping. We ain't
Okay.
but I think we would have if we would have consistently ran the rock like we were supposed to. I think we would at least by now understood that that's the blueprint. I don't understand why you had to wait till fucking damn near out the playoff. I mean, because
We don't
realistically, we still are in the playoffs as far as
right.
a chance. It's slim to nothing. I think it's less than 2% or 3%.
It's
But
low. But
yeah, nonetheless, it is what it is. But that's what I'm saying. Like the blueprint was there a long time ago, and it just was common sense. But it is, ain't
and
nothing we can do about it now.
let me add this too. You want to at this point you don't have Dak Prescott, so you know you're not going to get 400 yards a game. So you want to play possession. You want to be able to hold the ball as long as you can to possibly beat them over having the ball the longest. So of course we know we're not going to out hustle. No, we're not going to out hustle you with running gun. I will gunning the ball. We're gonna have to take our time and win with okay, damn, they had the ball for 13 minutes the first quarter. They had it for 10 the third. They had like that. That's the only way we're gonna win because we don't got the stud yet. He's in the making, but man, stop putting all this pressure on these guys. But like you said, good ups for the Vikes. They did their thing. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the podcast, man. I'm your boy Broadway Beats. I got your boy with me, Neef, aka Mr. Perp. He's still
Yes,
perping
sir.
niggas up. If you trying to get perked, and I ain't talking about Baltimore or no shit like that. You got to be
Hell
viked up.
no.
So you know what I'm saying. But we gonna go ahead and get right into the podcast, man. Matter of fact, let me check before I get to make sure we ain't got no double ups because I hear a double up and I can't really hear my playback. So let me see real quick before we get into this. Make sure I ain't got no double up. On the vocals. Okay, we good, we in there. Okay, so all right, man, we might as well talk about the most trending topic or in the most trending player right now in the league. You know what I'm saying? That's Shedeur damn Sanders. You know what I'm saying? The Browns fell short to the Titans 31-29 last Sunday, but Shedeur, man, he had a historic game with 350 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. That only other player to ever do that is what's my guy name? They didn't put it in there. Joe Burrow. I think it's Joe Burrow. Man, let me see. Damn, I had the name and then I don't see. Well, you be trying to have a thing. See, some people say lean on Chat GBT. When I do that, they be doing this other shit. So hold on, man. Let me see who the other player was to get that 350 with 3 touchdowns. Okay, yeah, Joe Burrow. Okay, yeah. So him and Joe Burrow is the only two quarterbacks to have 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in their rookie year. So my question for you is, what do you believe Shedeur Sanders' true ceiling is? And that's why I'm asking you right quick. What do you think his ceiling is right now? Just seeing, that game.
I mean, he looks like he can. He's got Pro Bro ability if he can get some consistency in his team and in his play. I love what I saw out of his poise, and he looked at he's looking better and better each week, which is what we figured was gonna happen, just because we figured the talent and the work ethic he had been putting into his craft. So It doesn't shock me. And then, like I said, he was asked to do a lot in college. A lot of the offense was built upon his success. Now, granted, he had great receivers, NFL caliber receivers, but he's still the quarterback that got to get it to him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that didn't really shock me at all. It's unfortunate that his coach is just such a dickhead that he didn't want him to have to shine, man. Like it just doesn't make any logical sense to try to run Wildcat when you need 2 points to tie the game
man.
up to go to overtime. That just was silly. And it showed everyone and anyone who's got common sense that they didn't want him. It's just like when they ran the ball with Marshawn Lynch passed the ball with Russell Wilson instead of handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
They didn't want Marshawn Lynch to be the Super Bowl MVP, and he gotta do the media stuff after the game and get all the notoriety. They was trying to make sure it went to Russell,
That's facts.
and I
Okay.
felt the same thing. Like Steph Fancy didn't want Shedeur to have that shine.
Facts. Now, my the it's a two-part question. So before I answer, I want to ask you: do you think that NFL GMs will regret that they passed up on drafting Shador this year?
No,
No.
nuh-uh, uh-uh. I think they won't have to eat that until maybe a couple of years from now. When he's threatening to be, like I said, I think he's got Pro Bowl ability, but if he really hits his stride and reaches the top of his potential, he could be an MVP caliber type quarterback. And then that's when they're gonna all have to, reap what they sow. A lot of them,
Yeah.
especially the Steelers, because the Steelers are finna be in purgatory after they get rid of Aaron Rodgers.
I don't even know why they did that. They was tripping for even going to get
I
him, but
mean, I don't know what they were doing either. They're 5 years past replacing Ben Roethlisberger.
right. And they trying to just plug and play. That just not gonna cut it. But all right. So let me go ahead and answer the question as well. To me, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. Shador's true ceiling is probably a Pro Bowler. I think that still right now, as a young quarterback, he still lacks a little bit of the IQ, but he has the talent. So right now, we can see that he's leaning on the talent. We haven't seen him play against the toughest defenses, but just for where they at, we can see that every week you can see that his attention to detail is getting a little bit better than it was from that first game that they threw him in, where he only played 2 quarters. So kudos for him for that, for just being able to adapt real quick. Now, the next few games he got is going to really be the test. We're going to love to see how they play against the Chicago Bears. That's going to be a real tester. Um, and then they play. Let me see who else they play. Because it's looking like the road to success for him is going to be a challenge this year. So I don't think I look forward to seeing them do too much more than what I seen them do this, that game, because he got the it's the Bears, the Bills. He'll probably do good against the Steelers, and he could possibly do decent against the Bengals. But the Bills is probably going to be that one to show him who he really is. Um, Now, I do think personally, right now, if he shows out for these last 4 games, then the NFL GMs will regret that they didn't pick him. And like you said, he did have a lot on his back in college. He was, I guess, to me, when you see a quarterback, throwing 400 yards in college, can expect for his career in the NFL to be decent. I'm not saying he's gonna be the best quarterback there ever was, but you can expect that when he get there, he's gonna be damn near ready for success. So to me, like you said, I have to agree also that next year is gonna be like really where we get to see where he's at. and we don't know where he's gonna be. We don't know even know if the Browns is gonna keep him or if he's gonna
Oh,
have
he's
us.
under a contract, I think. So I think he got that. He's a 6th round pick, so he probably got that 4 year whoopty bam.
Right, but I'm saying, who's to say they may not try to do a plug and play, make him second string, or, so we don't know if
Yeah,
he's
that's
gonna be
true.
starting.
They could. That's
So
true.
he got to play good these next 4 games for him to really solidify where it's gonna go. To me, but
That's facts.
for damn sure he's better than Dylan Gabriel, and he played better than Flacco. So, um, you know, shout out to my
Yeah, they're
man.
going. They said he's starting the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's nice. And I don't think that was up to Stefanski. Like you said, he's been a hater. As you can see, I think a lot of the
Oh, he's
games,
out of here.
right? The games. If you see the other games that he played, I I felt like Stefanski didn't want his stats to be as great as they could be. So he always keep doing stuff like he'll take them out because he don't want them to have 5 touchdowns. Because then it look like why the hell did you pass up on letting him start over Gabriel? You know what I'm saying? So he either way it go, he's still eating crow. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I hope they place a better quarterback coach and offensive coordinator around that team so they can get better. Because what it does show is that them offensive pieces ain't that damn bad. You know what I'm saying? They ain't that damn bad.
Mm-mm.
But all right, man. The Eagles, man, they got put into a reality check last week, Monday. They got a reality check. They lost to the Chargers 22-19. Jalen Hurts, man, he threw 240 yards, but he also had 4 interceptions and no touchdowns, while Saquon Barkley had 122 yards. If the Eagles made it to the playoffs today and it started today, how confident would you be in this team? And how far do you think they would go playing the way they just played?
One and done, baby. One and done. Right on out of here. Cooked, fried, fricasseed. Their offense looks putrid. It doesn't look like they got an identity as far as any what they want to do. They don't know how. It's just it don't look right. And I mean, I knew losing a coordinator because it seems like that's what happens with them. They lose a coordinator and they just can't figure out that recipe again. They had the same players, but for some reason, when they lose a coordinator, especially one that had them their offense at a high level, they can't bounce back the following year. That's what makes me a little skeptical on that coach. I don't know what he does. Like I don't know what he does well because it's like if his coordinators leave, the team don't seem to respond. So with that being said, I just the way they've been playing this year, the way they've been playing lately, the defense can get bullied and pushed around, especially in the run game. No one is really scared of them defensively like that on for them to they don't have that same pass rush that they could just get off on and they not relying on and built everything off of the run like they did last year. So I can't like I said, I think they be one and done.
Mm. Man, I think I'm gonna have to finally agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think that'd be damn near one and done. I don't even know if they get out. I don't even know if they'll win a game. To be honest with you, and the crazy part about it is, even in this game, they played the right way. As far as if you look at the stats, 240 yards passing and 122 yards rushing should be able to get the job done. If that can't get the job done, then I don't know what the hell they got to do. You know what I'm saying? I think it go back to
But
what you
4 turnovers is killer.
that's crazy work. And if you look at the chart,
But I think the Chargers had like 3 or 4 turnovers or and like 7 sacks. I
no,
think the Eagles sacked them like 7 times.
yeah, but see, Justin Herbert, he only had one pick, so he at least he still kind of kept control of the
He
ball.
held
Like
on
you
to
said,
the rock with one hand, with a broken hand.
he fumbled too. He fumbled. Yeah, like you
Oh yeah,
said that.
he did get strippy dipped that one time.
Yeah, so um,
He should have had three. I'd have been going
He,
for it every single time,
he,
and knowing he got a broke hand.
right. So with that being said, you can't if you can produce that many yards as an offensive team and still not win against a good great competition, then I mean it's gonna be a struggle then because ain't no way in hell you have 240 yards passing and you don't get no touchdowns. And
Man,
you know what I'm saying? And then you have 122 yards. Basically, you got almost 400 yards total on the offensive side, and you still lose. That is unheard of. So, with that being said, man, I think they in the woes of most championship teams. Like we see championship teams all the time that are where the second year to go repeat is the hardest to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's chemistry, um, desire, and right now I don't see the desire. I still see the same chemistry, but I don't see the desire to um, do more. They're kind of content with where they at. It's the same thing. Same thing with any team that wins. If you don't have desire or you think it's just you can just get there, it's gonna be somebody else. Playing you like you're a playoff team. Regular season, preseason, all that.
you ain't never lied.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next question, man. The Kansas City Chiefs, man. They lost 20-10 to the Texans last Sunday. Of course, we see that. Well, I don't know. Is the season officially over for Patrick Mahomes? And my question for you is it safe to say now that um, Patrick Mahomes' era might be over with? And if not, what do the Chiefs need to do next year to be better?
Oh, they're gonna go all out and give him the opportunity to win him another one before he may have to take his talents elsewhere. But they're fried this year for sure. Like their last chance was this last game that they lost, especially with the Chargers winning.
Yeah,
It's a wrap. Like it's just there. What happened to them is what happens to most teams. Even the Patriots, even the 49ers, even like you go through the history of the league. Eventually you're gonna age out. And they've kind of aged out. They've kind of aged out at key positions that they need to, their defense is relatively young outside of the D tackles. The offensive line is pretty decent and young, but a lot of them are hurt. And then they're definitely gonna go and improve the running back situation because Pacheco, he's cool, but he's always hurt.
yeah,
And
um,
Hunt is about 33, 34.
yeah.
So, or at least 30 something.
He didn't turn out
So,
to. He didn't age well. He didn't turn out to be who you thought he was gonna be, Kareem Hunt. So
I mean, he had that situation with that, where he had to deal with that situation. So, that kind of derailed his whole. Plus, to me, he's like a Morel D. Moore. You remember Morel D. Moore for the Vikes?
yeah,
They're not fast, they're not shifty, but they run hard and they're built like a bowling ball. So they get them little funny yards. So, but they gonna age out quicker because they ain't got the speed. So once they lose what little speed they do have, unless you can convert the fullback, which most of them aren't, they're not big enough.
yeah.
So yeah, it's just time. The league has a funny way of humbling niggas when it comes to this. You know what I mean? Like if I was a Kansas City fan, I wouldn't even be tripping, man. Like
There ain't
I
no
didn't
reason
just
to.
went on a run, a 9 straight every year. Like we going deep into December, like every year. So for it to go south on us this year, yeah, it hurts. I didn't want it. You don't want it to happen if you was a fan of them, but I mean, that's just the reality of life. Like no one's always up.
Right. What go unless you damn Michael Jordan, like you feel me? It ain't too many of
Shit,
them.
he fell to the ground once his
Yeah,
pops passed, and or got murdered, I should say, and he he went to baseball, then he came back, got his head bust by Chorus and them and the Magic.
yeah. They don't
So
talk about that. They don't talk about that. The little comeback and he didn't. You feel me? They always
I
skip
mean,
that.
they throw that in there, but it's always with a caveat because he came in the middle of the season, but he came back. He brought that on himself. That's
Yeah.
on his record. That's a blemish. But you got to be a real purist of the debate to they call us bronzexuals
Right.
just because we just have a difference of opinion in who the greatest of all time is. I still say it's hard to debate with MJ's rings and his aura and his legacy. Like it's you just can't just on his legacy alone you can't put Brown in that same category. Just off of the strength of that, like his shoes still sell like they just came out in '89 or whatever year it was they came out,
Well,
and we're in 2025.
I'm a believer
So
in errors. It's hard to me like it's that's like comparing. To me the conversation is always gonna be like you're gonna go off of the era you came up in, just period. Like
right,
if
absolutely,
it
absolutely, and like Gilbert Arenas gives a great analogy as far as like the talent level. Like
yeah
yeah, you had your Clyde Drexlers and you had your Magics and your Larrys and
your
your David
ITs
Robinsons and Charles Barkley and Carl Malone. Like he had a great gauntlet of pick players to go against, but for some strange reason, it just never seemed to fall into to two. Like he didn't have to really go through much in the East. Like yeah, you had to
right.
deal with the Knicks a little bit, and you had to deal with the Pacers a little bit. You had to deal with Detroit when you first was trying to get over the top. But once you got over the top, like you was dealing with nobody in the East. Like you ran into whoever was the second fiddle to y'all in the East every year.
Right.
So it was damn near like if LeBron would have just stayed in Miami all this time, he never had left, and he had caught D Wade. Like D Wade was coming in when Bron was like 6 years, and you know how Pippen came in when MJ was like 5 years in the league, 6 years in the league,
Yeah.
4 years, whatever it was. So you know what I mean. It like you said, it's errors. So you can't really compare the two in errors. So that's why I don't really try to do it because then you'll go down the rabbit hole.
Right. And then you gotta think the errors and then I'm gonna answer the question. The errors is gonna go off of who I learned from. So hell yeah, Jordan is gonna be quote unquote better than LeBron because who did he get his moves from? How could you elevate your game and make it a little bit better and do some tweaks to it without Jordan? So
Fact,
just like Jordan, the person before him was Julius
Dr. James.
Julius Irving. So he tweaked his game a little bit more and had a little bit more athleticism than Julius Irving. That doesn't mean that Dr. Dre wasn't as good, but shit, if you talk to somebody from that time, they'll argue you down about that. But that's the thing. We learn from what we see. So
Facts.
it's just hard to compare. You know what I'm saying? Like the money from this time is going to be greater than the from before because you're going to get smarter. So everything is like that. Evolution of the game is going to always make the next person that comes up better. But to answer the question, I think the Patrick Mahomes era might be coming to a slight end if he don't go somewhere else, or like you said, if the team don't draft some younger players. It's just got to be some real changes in Kansas City. They might need to get a new offensive coordinator. Just there might need to be something a little more sexy in the play calling that they not used to that can get them hyped up because it just seems like for the last 3 4 years, the last 3 years, they've been like not
I don't think
really
they have
into
a.
it.
I don't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say I don't think they really have a like. What do they do? Are they a running team? Or are they a passing team? And that's always been kind of their loophole and what works for them.
Right.
But what hasn't worked for them this year, and the reason why it hasn't, and it's always been the case, is the offensive line.
Man,
Like
they've
if they
been
don't
in and
have the
out.
offensive line depth and the offensive line health,
Yeah.
and they can protect Patrick, it just doesn't work. And it's been proven. Like they got all the way to the Super Bowl against Tampa, and then Tampa put that they knew like you niggas can't block nobody. And we actually can get after your quarterback. So we gonna come after him. And that's what our philosophy is the blitz and come with exotics and you know what I mean? Like that's the Bulls defense. So it just was a perfect storm. And
Yeah.
that's why you see when they've been on these runs and they've been able to win, they've invested. That's what they have to do again. Like you have with him, especially because you're gonna run everything through him. So you have to make sure he's protected. So I think they'll do that. They'll either go because they lost Tooney, which was a big loss when they lost him to the Bears, and that kind of because Humphrey is good, but now he's hurt. You
Right.
know what I mean?
That's
So
the name of the game. They team just that's the part of winning championships that nobody really talk about is that you got to have some damn
offensive
good luck.
line,
That and you got to
luck,
have some good
and
luck with
health.
people staying healthy. If the
Yep,
players can't
you
stay
gotta have
healthy,
that good puck luck with niggas being healthy at the right time. Like a lot
right?
of your key players, especially, they gotta be healthy at the right time because if they're not, it doesn't matter.
It,
Like it
do-
just it's just been proven over the history of time. Like even if you get that far, you still is gonna come into some type of situation where you're gonna be like, damn, if we had that starter.
yeah. So yeah, like you said though, to me the most important thing is how they gonna draft in and draft out, or what kind of changes they're gonna make with that team because they are older. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna work no more. So they got to do something different, and it's gonna really depend on, like you said, even what you said, they don't really have an offensive identity, but that's gonna come down to maybe switching it up, getting a coordinator or something because it's not working no more. So um,
I think they could stretch it out a little longer because I like the offensive identity with you not knowing what they're gonna do. They just got to be more, like I said, get a running back, get a young running back, young Thundercat, or underused, maybe a Chubb. Maybe you might be able to get a Chubb or a whatever the other back was that from Carolina, number 5. Like you got to find somebody. Maybe what's the name? Or let go of one of them running backs that they got. What's his name? He got hurt. He was with the Steelers.
running back,
Dang, what's his name? He's with the Chargers now.
you know, I
Bigger
can,
back. I can't think of his
I'm about
name
to
right now.
I'm about to pull it up. I'll be able to.
He's hurt for the Chargers. He was with the Steelers though.
You talking about?
Najee Harris.
Okay, yep.
Najee Harris. Maybe they can get something like that on the flyer, but they need to do something at the running back position to try to improve it. And they got to go back to the blueprint, draft an offensive lineman early. Y'all gonna have a decent pick this year. Y'all will be in the teens. So or
Yeah.
maybe early 20s. So yeah, they gotta invest in the offensive line again and maybe even a defensive tackle or two because Jones ain't getting no younger.
At all. No, that's
And
facts.
I think they'll be straight. I think they 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 have the quarterback. They got a generational talent at quarterback. So you got the hardest position to fill in the history of sports. So now you just need to fill out the dots and what is it? Circle the dots to make sure you got the other pieces in place. Depth.
Yeah, they got to
Work
make
on your depth.
got
Offensive line depth.
yeah, they got to do a couple different little tweaks, and they can possibly make it happen. But that's to
And
be
you know, in
determined.
that division is a division I don't trust it. You know, the Raiders ain't shit. The Chargers, I can't. I mean, Hardball still thinks it's 1993, so he wants to run the ball all day. Uh, in Denver, Knicks is a crapshoot. So all they got to do is get back to, like I said, get back to the basics, get that shit right, get that offensive line, and get that running game solidified, and they'll be right back to where they were before. There ain't no young Thundercat in that division at quarterback that they got to worry about taking over the division like uh, that young man Drake. But I digress. We'll go to the next question.
Okay, okay. All right, man. So the highlight game of the week, man, is gonna be the Bills versus the Patriots this Sunday. You know, the 9-4 Bills facing off against the 11-2 Patriots. You know what I'm saying? In a heavyweight AFC clash, who do you think is coming out on top? Pause. And what will be the deciding factor?
So bench mob, you know, like you like how I just finagled that little segue, but I
He
go
smoothed
back
it.
into how and I did that unintentionally. I swear to God, but I did know that the question was a question. Didn't know it was the next question, but I digress.
You
I go to
did
the answer to the question.
smooth.
So this year, I just got a gut feeling that this is the Bills' best chance to get to a Super Bowl. So with that being said, I feel like the Bills are going to give them their very best shot, especially since they lost to the Patriots already. I feel the Patriots are due for a loss, and they're due for a loss, especially to this team, just because of the way that the Bills are set up versus they're basically the same team. They're built pretty much the same way. I just feel Drake hasn't been in enough big time games to where he's going to be able to actually handle the pressure that's going to come. And I'm thinking that the Bills are, especially I believe it's at home, are going to be able to really apply that pressure on them. So I think
Nah,
the Bills are
it's
going.
a it's a it, nope. It's
Oh,
a
it's in New England.
it's a New England baby.
Even better, even better. That means the pressure of being at home might actually come against them. I like what the Patriots are doing, but I just feel like the NFL storyline would work best if they were able to beat them, and then it's going to start coming down to these last few games at the end of the season with them both either to win or one of them lose to win the division. So, and I just feel like the Bills, the way they've been playing, the way that I know that they're capable of playing, and the fact that, like I said, the Patriots have already beat them once. I feel like they got a chip on their shoulder, and I think they're gonna get this one done. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I think it's gonna be real close. It's gonna come down to something fluky or a weird play or a kick return or a block punt or some type of weird like one of them momentum switchers. But I think the Bills are gonna come out on top.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to double down with you on the Bills. I don't think the Patriots has have been battle tested in the last couple of weeks. They've been having some easy games, and so they haven't really been playing against no real steppers. Um, I think the last two, yeah, they ain't played against no steppers in quite some time. Like the last four games been the Giants, the Bengals, the Jets, and the Buccaneers. So you know, like them was give me games. Them was like, okay, y'all supposed to take those games. And like you said, to me, I'm gonna go with the more seasoned veteran right now. Drake is still a little young, so I do expect them to be. They probably gonna win. They might mess around and win the AFC over there. Um, the AFC East, they might mess around and win, and the Patriots might win it, but they ain't winning this game. And I'm gonna have to agree with you again on this is definitely the best year. I've been hearing this from you all year, and I've been kind of straying away from it. But for your boy, Josh Allen, I think this is his best chance to go ahead and get that ring for the Bills. And shit, you already know how it's gonna be in New York. If they could, if the Buffalo Bill, if the Bills can get something, it's gonna go crazy in Buffalo. I mean, shit, I don't think they don't want no Super Bowl and some. And they might have not never had
They've
one.
never won one.
Right, so the city gonna
They
go
haven't.
crazy. The city will go
Yeah,
crazy.
they just as starved, if not starved worse than the Vikes, because they got there like three straight times.
Yeah, man. So I like what I see I like what I see on the offensive side for the Bills. I ain't really been catching too many Patriots games, but every time I say they ain't gonna win, them boys been winning. So it's either gonna be a hype train and get to the playoffs and be shitty, or they really gonna be what they looking like. But I don't think they gonna. I know they ain't gonna beat the Bills this weekend. I could just they all the Bills got to do is play some hard defense. To me, that's what it's gonna come down to it because they're gonna it's gonna be a nice close offensive game, but defense is gonna be the one to really get it done. So
Yeah, I agree.
that's the only way to get it done. Unless you the Cowboys and you playing shootout, you know what I'm saying, that defense is gonna win. But all right, man, to the NBA, man. My question for you, man, the NFL Cup, man, just tipped off yesterday. Do you see the NFL Cup as a gimmick, a waste of time, or has it actually added value to the league?
Gimmick, waste of time. No one cares. The only people that care is the people that put it together. Like I couldn't tell you when them games are, who's in what bracket, who's gonna win, who, if I even care if they win. Like it's retarded. Like I get it, but I don't get it because it's like that would have worked 50 years ago if you had it as something that was something to be going on with the league. But the fact that that's not the case and it's something that they just started bringing out, it just doesn't care. It just doesn't seem like the average fan cares. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't even consider myself an average fan. I would say I'm an avid fan. So the fact that I don't care and I'm an avid fan, that says a lot. So yeah, I think it's a waste of time. I think they should put more effort into trying to make the All Star game worth what it used to be, the dunk contest and all the contests that they have in the whole game. Like they need to put more effort into that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think I watched the NBA Cup the first season and I wasn't impressed. They tried to make the courts all fly and shit, but that don't really matter to
Yeah,
me.
that
Like
just goofy. That just
you put too
a
much
gimmick.
time. Yeah, you put too much time into making a court look cute and all that stuff, but it still don't matter to me. Like it's not the championship game, it's not the playoffs, so I don't really see a point or purpose for them having it. And again, I'm gonna have to double down with you on the All Star game, but this is what my solution for the All Star game would be. Stop having an All Star game in the middle of the damn season. Do it like how the NFL used to do the Pro Bowl, but I would have it at the end of the season after the playoffs is over. Then you can have the All Star game maybe a week after, 2 weeks after. Let everybody rejuvenate and then have the All Star game because people wouldn't be caring about, oh damn, if I get in this dunk contest, will I get hurt? Oh, if I do this too hard, will this happen or will that happen? And I think they just got it in the wrong space, of the season. So,
Yeah, I just think they should. It should have more. I don't disagree with that idea, but I think the best idea is baseballs. They
what,
make it worth something. Whoever wins the team that wins, whoever goes to the World Series, that team gets home field advantage.
right, right. I could
You
feel it.
whoever wins the West or the East, whoever wins, that team gets the home field advantage in the playoffs if they get to the finals.
Yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
you got to make it worth something. Like that's the whole problem. Like these niggas don't care about money. Money ain't.
They
Come
getting
on, man. They
paid.
get enough money.
Right, they getting paid for sure. That ain't no problem.
Exactly. So
Okay.
them having any type of money grab, that's not really gonna move them. But something like that, like I said, like in baseball, where it could determine whether you win a championship or not. Toronto damn near won just because they was at the crib to start it off.
Right.
That shit went all the way to 7. Had they had to go to LA to right out the gate, they might not have won.
Yeah, that exactly. That make a little bit more sense for sure. They got to do, but it don't for us as fans. It don't really mean nothing to us. We don't care about it. It don't change. If we gonna bet, we gonna bet. Probably if I see the NBA Cup, I'll probably not betting anyways. So just because I know that this shit rigged anyway. But we gonna move on. Jonathan Kuminga, man, he on the trade watch, man. The Warriors are expected to be open to trade talks for Jonathan Kuminga once he becomes eligible on January 15th. Which teams do you think could benefit the most from adding him to their team?
Man, I mean, with him, he's just kind of a jack of all trades. But I think honestly, the best team for him would be Miami. I think
Damn.
Miami would be a perfect fit for him. I think the culture, the way he plays the game, him and out of Bayou, I think that would be a nice little combination you could build around, and you could kind of fill in the pieces because he, like I said, he's a 2-3 way player. Out of Bayou's a 2-3 way player. As far as like when I say 2-3, it means they can play 2 to 3 positions as far as what they can play on the floor, and just their versatility and their defense. I just think, and then it's like I said, the way Spo coaches, he gonna coach them hard. He gonna be able to get shots up. I think Miami would be a perfect fit.
Damn. You ain't lying. That'll be for real, for real. That'll be a good fit. Um, damn. How can you beat that? I'm trying to think like, damn, I had a team and nigga, I can't beat that one. But I think where would it be nice from too? Might be like somewhere like Milwaukee. If they had, I don't know if they got the money, but of course they ain't looking the greatest. But if you throw him over there with Giannis, he's a high tempo player. Like you said, he can guard more than one position. They kind of missing that small forward position, somebody who can kind of establish, a little bit of the offense as
Kuzma
well.
ain't it.
Kuzma ain't never been it. Like to me, his desire for basketball is not there. He's collecting his check, so he's not
Man,
really.
hold on 1 second, bro. Go ahead, keep continue.
Yeah,
But I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
yeah. Kuzma is collecting the check, and like I said, I would like to see him over there with Giannis, just because of the high tempo that Giannis plays, and he could probably, pull out that extra level of tenacity that Giannis has that he hasn't been able to play with because he doesn't have the other pieces that's around him that he needs. But yeah, man, that's that to me. That's the biggest position for biggest place. Or he wouldn't look too bad. Let me see on the West. I would say San Antonio, but I don't think he'll really get no true shot over there in San Antonio. So, nah, all the other teams on the West is pretty much stacked. Phoenix, he wouldn't look good over there with what you call it because he need the ball. So, yeah, man, I could just see him doing it over there with the Bucks. That'll probably be his best little position. Shout out to Jonathan Kuminga. He been kind of wanting to leave anyways. I don't even think he really wanted to sign the contract this year. He just signed the contract just to damn sign it so he can get the money. But he ain't really want to go back to the Warriors in the first place. He already knew his chances was a wrap when they grabbed Jimmy Butler over there. So Steve Kerr just hasn't been the greatest coach that I thought he was after the restructure of where the Warriors has been in the last 3 years. He just when they got the ring, he got that shit by luck. But I don't know, man. I always question Steve Kerr's ability to really coach because I think it might be Steph Curry, but he's not establishing. He'll not establish them young players. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's all I got for Jonathan Kaminga, and I feel like I hope he go to a place where it's beneficial for him more than anything because shit, who has time to be, having a little bit of talent like that and don't really have nowhere you could just really strive from. So I just really hope Jonathan Kaminga just gets put in a position of where he can thrive at the end of the day. You know?
Yeah, because they ain't doing nothing with him with Golden State.
Yeah. While you was gone, I said I kind of questioned Steve Kerr's ability to coach. I don't know if he's really a good coach or if he's just been placed around great talent. Because when I see the new guys, he hasn't been able to establish them in the lineups the way that I thought he would be able to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's just a unique situation with being that they got Jimmy, and so they've been trying to figure out a way to play them both together at the same time, which is it works, but it's still they're the same player. So
Yeah.
it just hasn't it's just not gonna work.
Kaminga,
Not
he
in
ain't
the
trying to.
favor of either one because you can't start them both.
Yeah, and he ain't trying to come off the bench no more. He trying to get some real,
Yeah, I mean, as he
opportunities.
shouldn't be. I mean, he was a lottery pick.
Right.
If he wants to have any opportunity to get any type of bag, he got to be able to get out there and show he can be a integral piece of a winning team, not just somebody coming off the bench.
Yeah, that's facts. All right, man. We're gonna move on to bench or start, where you either gonna place it on the bench or you gonna start it. Um, you know what I mean? Bench or start, Avant or Carl Thomas.
Oh man, this is the easiest venture start of all time, just off of the strength of Carl Thomas got me through a couple situations as far as relationships.
Also, that's who you
Like
starting.
real talk. Like I listened to Carl Thomas emotional album from the first song to last song for a whole week when I lost me and my baby mom first broke up the first time. I was
Yeah.
crushed, devastated. So yeah, I gotta go with Carl Thomas, man. He got that. He got. If you ain't never bench mob, if you ain't never listened to that album, I suggest you. If you ever in a situation where you feeling down, that's definitely the one to listen to.
Pick up
I
that.
promise you, it'll definitely give you what you need as far as let you wallow in your little sorrows, but then
Mm,
it'll build you back up.
okay, so you're gonna start Carl and bench Avant.
Starting Carl, and I'm benching Avant eyes. He got them little baby eyes like a seal.
All right, man. So I'm gonna have to be opposite, man. I'm gonna have to go with Avant. I'm gonna have to start Avant and bench Carl Thomas. And to me, see, I came up in a little bit of middle of Carl Thomas, so I ain't get to hear that full album like that. But that Avant was hitting too. Um, they used to call him the second coming of R. Kelly, man. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Because R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? He ain't aged well like wine in this time, so you know what I mean? But, that was my guy, man. He had some little hits, man. But I'm going to keep it real. For the discography for both of these guys, I didn't listen to whole albums. Just listen to the hits. So
No,
I missed out. All
yeah,
right.
you missed out, man. You gotta go back and listen to that Carl Thomas emotional album, man.
I'm going to definitely go check
I
it
think
out.
you're slipping. I think you're slipping on it.
Well, see, you can't slip on nothing you ain't give a chance. So you feel me? I'm gonna go
I
give it
mean,
a
it's
chance.
been out 20 years. You didn't have a chance. You just never gave it a chance.
True, true, true. All right, man. Bench or start. Dunk lows or dunk highs? Which ones you going with?
Man, see, now it depends on what era you catch me in life. So when I was in my early 20s and 30s, it was all about the highs. I didn't even care about the lows. But ever since I've really just figured out lows just look way better with whatever outfit you got on, no matter if you got on shorts or pants. I've just turned into a low head. So I have to go dunk lows.
Man, I'm double down with you because like back in the day, I was a dunk high. I told you prior to this, we on other bench mob, podcasts, times that I had them dunk highs. They was patent leather. They was white and black. And that's what made me first fall in love with dunks because I thought they was the Air Force Ones, and then I pulled them and took them to the crib and realized, damn, these dunks, these ain't ones. But over time, man, them lows is fresh. So I haven't had a pair of highs since them days, and them was high school days. And since that time, I probably had like, 5, 6 pairs of dunks, and they all been lows. And like you said, man, they just complement the outfits way better. So the older you get, the more you pay attention to what complements the fits versus what
Facts. It
look.
ain't just the colors that match.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you just go with the colors and you just, oh, I'm stuck in this. But when you get out of that, you start looking at what complements more, and them dunk loads is always gonna win. But bench your start: sweet potato pie or pizza cobbler.
Oh man, so peach cobbler I have to start, and I'm gonna have to bench sweet potato pie just because sweet potato pie you really can't jack it up. Like I haven't really had a horrible sweet potato pie experience. I've had what is it that what my Caucasian brothers eat? It
Pumpkin
ain't
pie.
sweet potato pie,
Pump.
pumpkin pie. I've had
Yeah.
pumpkin pie thinking it was sweet potato pie and had that problem. But as far as like sweet potato pie, nah man, I haven't really had a bad experience with that. Versus I've had some horrible experiences with peach cobbler if they don't make it right. Like
Facts.
if you do it like my homeboy does and he makes it and it's just soupy, like, what the hell is this? Or you do it and you do it with too much crust and not enough
Yeah.
peaches, and it's like, what the hell is this? Like the perfect blend of amount of peach to crust ratio is what I like.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
want it to be too much peaches and sauce or too much dough and not enough peaches. So it's not too often that you catch that perfect blend, and when you do, it definitely sets that peach cobbler on fire. Like I told you, Jimbo's restaurant over North used to
Yeah.
be North Minneapolis, had the best peach cobbler I ever had. And nigga used to put it in a cup and serve it to you in a cup.
Man, that's
And you could get different sizes of cup and you get the peach cobbler. Was so bomb. One of my Caucasian homeboys I was friends with him in elementary school. Took him there to get some. He talks about it to this day.
oh yeah. So it's fire when you can't when you can just see when you can remember how something tasted 15, 20 years ago, nigga, that's some fire shit. Hey, it ain't too often where you could just sit back and close your eyes and wish you still could go grab a piece of that. You feel me? But
What?
I'm gonna have to double down with you, man. For me, I'm gonna have to bench sweet potato pie and start peach cobbler. And the reason why peach cobbler is up there is because for me, I played out sweet potato pie every time Thanksgiving came. I used to give me 9 slices, give me, and like you said, you can't really run into a bad sweet potato pie, but this shit gets old over time. So, once you done did that for 10 years, you like I'm
And
sweet
everybody
potato.
brings, that's the one thing you know is going to be available. Like that is, like you said, that's a guarantee. You going to see it at the table. But that peach cobbler, that's not something you see people jump out the gate and do and bring to the table.
You got to be a specialist. You got to be a specialist to bring that peach cobbler around. And not too many
Man,
people are specialists with that. So when you find it, like you said, if the ratio to peaches and crust is right, nigga, it's heaven.
woo, with some ice cream,
Definitely with some ice cream, and
Christmas time.
it got to be a little warm too, and then you
What?
good.
Just a little black pepper and a little hot sauce, man. So just off of the strength of that, and like I said, most people do greens.
Yeah,
Not too many people pull out the cabbage.
not too many.
I gotta go with cabbage, man, because like I said, you cabbage is just so simple. You can and when you hit it with that smoked meat, that turkey, pause, or that ham, man,
Definitely pause,
it's on something. It's on something different. You know, I'm telling the truth.
nigga. You ain't
When you
lying.
hit that joker with that smoke, woody woo, and then that just a little pepper, and when you saute it, how it be looking translucent,
Yes,
like you
sir.
can see through it. It got a little better crunch to it. It's a little more savory. Greens can like I said, depending on how you do it, it can get a little weird. It can be a little soupy. It could
Yeah.
be just a little too salty. Like, yeah, I had to really go down and break it down to where I had to make a choice because I didn't want to flip flop or just not choose nothing. Benchmark, we ain't here for that. Y'all want to hear me make a choice, so I'm gonna say bench greens and start cabbage.
Damn, this a hard one. You know what I'm saying? Cause when I did have it my way, you know what I'm saying, when I was eating all that you said with the smoked turkey or the little ham hock or something, you feel me? It's like, damn, you gotta have that with the greens and the cabbage. You gotta have a little something savory in there. And man, I wanted to say both of them. Like shit, I really didn't know what because, like you said, them is the ultimate size. Like on a soul food dish, you gonna have that baked macaroni and cheese. You are gonna have
Man,
either
got to.
some collard greens
That's
or
number one. That's number one. That's
what,
number one.
what the mac
Bake Mac.
facts.
That's number one. That's the number one side because, like you said, you can
Yeah,
freestyle it with all three of them.
right. So now it's gonna taste wonderful with both. So like it don't matter which one you got, but you gotta be
What
able
I'm
to.
saying,
You
but
feel
you
me?
gotta have that Mac.
You
If
gotta
you
have that
had
mac.
greens, if you had greens, cabbage, and sweet potatoes, you gonna be like, what's missing?
You gotta have them. You gotta have that Mac. You said what you say? If you had who?
That's what you. I said if you had greens and cabbage on your plate and sweet
Yeah,
potatoes, you gonna look at your plate like, what's missing?
yeah. It's definitely gonna be that
Mac and
Mac
cheese,
for sure. You like you said. That's the number one
number one
for black
side.
people. For
Soul food,
Afro, yeah, soul
number one.
food. That's number one for sure. And you know what I'm saying, depending on your likeliness, you gotta have a little, little dinner roll or something. You feel me? A piece
What?
of cornbread or something. You feel me?
Cornbread.
You know what I mean? And if you do it like my auntie did, she used to do the homemade cornbread. What they call that? I can't think of what they call it. When you cook it on the eye. You cook it on the eye. She used to cook it on the eye, make the cornbread on the, you know what I'm saying,
Oh, in the
homemade.
skillet.
In the skillet. There we go.
Ooh,
That
that
corn
skillet cornbread.
nigga. Nigga,
Ooh,
that was fire. So you had to have you a little
ooh,
piece of that. But so let me go ahead
man.
for me to
And
answer the.
my mom was making cornbread with every. We was having cornbread with spaghetti. What you know
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
facts. You gotta have the cornbread and spaghetti. That's just hey, it don't go
That's
right.
Christmas time with some green beans.
Chris, oh yeah,
Ooh,
the green beans is gonna go stupid. You stop playing. But all right, to answer the question, man. All right, I don't want to be. I'm gonna be okay. Forget it, man. Since he picked cabbage, man, what the hell? I'm gonna go with the greens, man. Cause like, shit, they both some winners, man. Like he said, it's
they
like
are.
that's like picking. That's like saying who you if you could pick a player on your team, would you pick LeBron in his prime or Jokic. You're gonna say both of them. That's kind of hard as hell to pick. You like one of both. So
Right.
yeah, collard greens is if it's the right collard
Now,
green, like you said, not too salty. You know, had a ham hock in it or had that turkey meat in there. Nigga, that fall
man,
off
that
the little
turkey meat in
bone,
there, that smoked turkey meat in there, woo.
and it
But
got
I'm
a
gonna tell you, bitch mob, if you ain't tried it, bro, if you ain't tried it, my uncle put me on it with the greens, and I tried it, and it's stupid fire. You cut up a tomato,
oh
and you
yeah,
cut up a white onion, and you put the tomato and the onion in there with your greens, and you cut it up and eat it like that.
that's
I
yeah.
promise you, it'll change the game on you.
Yeah, that sounds like a game changer. Yeah, you can't lose with that for sure. Um, Damn, make a nigga want some collard greens, man. I ain't eat. See, I don't do Thanksgiving no more, so I ain't had no soul food in a while. So I might have to hit the soul food again.
That's one of my things, bench Bob and bro, that I wanna, man, I wanna do that, man. I just gotta get my Fetty Wap together, get my other ventures together, but I wanna do a soul food because I know I could do it right. I know how I want it. I know how I want the food to look.
You coming
I
with
know
that
how I want
honey
my
ham? You
presentation.
you coming with that honey baked ham, huh?
Man, I'm coming with that fire. Like everything's gonna be fresh and fire.
Yeah,
Promise you. Greens, mac, sweet potatoes. I'm gonna have at least three meats, three
yeah,
different
pause.
meats, fish, chicken, and probably a pork chop, or I'm gonna do some type of pork. So if you ain't with the swine, you'll have something else. I have fish and chicken for you. If you is with the swine, we gonna and it would be every Sunday. I just want to do
Oh,
I just want to do
Sundays.
Thursday through Sunday.
Oh,
Thursday through Sunday.
you trying to have
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is all prep.
you trying to have the lines wrapped around like Krispy Kremes, huh?
Man, what? It's I know I could do it because I know what my vision is and what I would do, the way I would have it. I want to do that and I want to do something else. But we'll talk that we'll digress on that after the pod.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
good.
All right, bench your start, man. Devin Booker or Donovan Mitchell?
Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker. So the way that their careers have played out, I would have to go with Donovan Mitchell just because he's shown me he's a culture. He could change cultures. I don't know if Devin Booker can go to another team and have the same success that Donovan Mitchell has showed, where he took Cleveland just like he took Utah to places they hadn't been in a while. I don't know if Booker can do that. I don't know if he can lead another franchise to that type of level of success without having someone else with him to help take off the burden. Been his issue and why he's been getting all this extra help since then. And it didn't even work out with Durant. So
Yeah.
I just don't, and I think he's way more injury prone. So I think I would have to bench Book and start Mitchell.
Man, I'm gonna have to double down with you. I'm gonna have to bench Devin Booker and start Donovan Mitchell. I always like the small, combo guards. For some reason, it's just something about it's something about the heart that they have. You can't get that from Booker. To me, Booker's more passive, and I don't really like passive players like that. So I want somebody who shows their emotions on the court, show the desire that they want to win. Not to be like, stone faced. I love a player that is, like you said, can get other things out, other players that don't even believe they can do it. And when you got that type of leadership, it carries on. And like you said, we done seen Booker with Kevin Durant and couldn't win. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to bench Booker and start Donovan Mitchell. All right, man. Bench and start. Root beer or cream soda.
Man, this was another hard one, man. This you hit me with the zingers tonight
Yeah.
because I love them both. But it's all on the contingency of how I feel. I love cream soda just by itself. I love root beer when I'm having root beer float, but I could drink that by itself too. But just off of the strength of which one I can drink by itself, I have to go cream soda over root beer, bench root beer and start cream soda just because, like I said, cream soda, especially if you get the right one, the A1, A and W,
A&W, facts.
or you there's another brand that's is like a I can't think of the name of it right now. I think it's a local brand in Minnesota. We got one and they come in these bottles. Fire. Fire. So yeah, I gotta go with cream soda.
I'm gonna have to double down with you, man. It used to be a time, and I ain't had cream soda in a while, but when I do hit that, I promise you, I'll be addicted. I go be buying them every day. I can't do that with root beer, but I definitely like a root beer float. So for that reason, like you said, which one is easier for me to drink on a regular basis? It's gonna be that cream soda, like A&W for sure. They got it, like you said. It's a couple other, runner ups, but shit, man, that cream soda always gonna hit for sure. To
That,
me,
I think the name of the company is Jones.
Oh yeah, Jones, yeah, for
They
sure.
got a bomb cream soda too.
I ain't never had the cream soda, but I done had some other ones.
In that clear bottle, that clear glass bottle. Yeah, that Joker fire.
I done had a couple Joneses, but not the root beer float. I mean, not the cream
No,
soda.
no. Yeah, you gotta have the cream soda one. If I remember that if I see one and I remember to grab it, I'll definitely grab it so I can bring it to you.
All right, for sure. Bench or start, Snowfall or The Wire.
So just off of the strength of how I got hip to them, I have to go Snowfall. Cause Snowfall I caught right when it started, and I was able to follow through. Probably was like maybe four episodes out when I got hip to it. So, but it was still the first season. Like I didn't get hip to The Wire until it was over, and then
Right.
I ended up having to watch it, and I started watching it, and I binge watched a lot of episodes, and eventually I watched most of it. I still probably some episodes that I haven't seen, but Snowfall I followed from. Like I said, I watched the four that I missed, and I just fellow through with the rest until the show went out. And so I've seen every episode. So Snowfall, and it resonated more with me just off of the strength of I kind of knew more of the backstory. I was older, so I kind of had a better idea of what was going on. Like The Wire, even when I caught it when it was over, I was still relatively younger, and it just The Wire goes off into so many different facets of Baltimore and Maryland. It ain't just streets. They go into politics and stuff like that. Versus Snowfall was strictly about these characters, and it just kind of branched off from these characters, but it stayed with these characters and that main concept of how they were living and just getting it in, and as far as how they was moving. So I definitely got to start Snowfall just off of the strength of that and bench The Wire, which I hate to do because The Wire is super cold, but like I said, Snowfall just resonated with me more.
I'm at to double down with you. Snowfall for sure. And the crazy part about it is they both stories from you know people, and The Wire is a story from Javante Davis, the boxer, his coach. And then Snowfall is a spinoff of Freeway Ricky Ross's life. So,
Mm-hmm.
but like you said, for me, I didn't start watching The Wire till after I found out about that because I was a Javante Davis fan. And but Snowfall caught my attention way faster, and it's just one of those ones to me that once you watch it, you locked in all the way. And I always like the stories that can keep you locked in, but they stick to the script, and the script don't change too much and throw you off. And so, with that being said, I feel like Snowfall kind of stay based on what you said. Like it comes from the hustle, and it just show you that all the way through. Versus The Wire, like you said, it's in the politics and some other stuff, and so it kind of throw you off a little bit if you ain't locked all the way in. So for that reason, we're gonna start Snowfall and Bitch the Wire. All right, man. We're gonna move to the TBQs, throwback questions. My question for you is, what NBA duo do you miss the most?
Man, it's a man. That's a great question. It depends on what era we're talking. Back to the eras. If we're going era for era. 90s. Of course. I mean, that's Bone and Pip. Like as much as I dislike, shouldn't say dislike because I didn't dislike them. As much as I wasn't a major fan of the Bulls, I love the fact that just watching them play and how great they look together and how that team chemistry and Jordan just in general,
Yeah.
that was just amazing to watch. It just, even though you knew 88 times of the 10 they was going to win, it just still was great to watch. And in the 90s, it definitely is Kobe and Shaq. Even though I didn't like neither one of them, just because they kept putting my team out and beating my Timberwolves. So them in the late '90s and the early 2000s, especially. And I love that Sacramento team with
Oh,
Webb
and white chocolate.
and not white chocolate when they got Bibby. I still
Oh,
liked them.
okay.
I loved them when they had white chocolate, but when they got Bibby was when they
Yeah.
was really contenders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that team, that duo with Bibby and Weber, um, and then obviously our love, and I mean that just was too early and didn't happen long enough. Was KG and Starberry. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like
Yeah.
that was something that could have really put together. But my if you to answer the question, I have to go with LeBron and D Wade. I just wish they could have played together longer when D Wade was a little younger. I think they really could have put something magical together. All them rings he said they was gonna win when they got together. Had they got together 3 years earlier, I think they might have been close to it. They might not have never hit that six because they lost one. I think they lost two. Yeah, they lost two. Lost to the Spurs and they lost to Dallas.
Yeah.
So I think they could have been close, but that would really be because that's more of a what if. Like if they got together earlier in D Wade's career, what if type thing. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with D Wade and LeBron.
All right, man. So I'm gonna throw out. I'm gonna throw out maybe two duos that is my runner ups, and I'm glad you brought up Chris Webber because I was gonna forget about this. But man, Chris Webber and Jawan Howard, they
Ooh, with the
Showtime
Bullets,
with the Bullets, my G. They was
and
so
then they had a
Showtime.
young Rasheed Wallace.
Exactly. I used to love, man. That gameplay was so nasty. Um, and I'm gonna have
That was
to.
when Juwan was in his bag too.
He was in his bag, and I'm gonna have to agree with you on the Shaq and Kobe. Even though I was an Iverson fan, but
Oh
that
man,
duo was wonderful. But
dominant.
if I'm gonna be truthful on a duo, even though I don't like these niggas like that, it's gonna be Steph Curry and Clay Dam Thompson. That's the duo
Mm.
to me that, you know what I'm saying, it's still like, what if they would have just, did their whole career together? I wish they would have just stuck it out, paused, and finished it all together, you know what I'm saying, as the duo. Uh, as the what was it, Splash Bros. So, but yeah, that's my duo I miss the most right now. Um, my question for you is, what's the most iconic jersey of your childhood? Easy,
Man,
easy.
is it one that I had or one that I didn't have?
No, I just say most iconic, and I don't even say
Okay,
it's either
okay. So
or.
the most iconic jersey that I can remember was two. It was either the Dallas Cowboys Little Giants version where they got the stars on the shoulder,
Yeah,
Emmitt Smith. I never seen anyone in person with it. I've seen celebrities with it. I never seen no one that I know with it. And then the other one is that Deion Sanders 49ers, the white
Mm,
one with the
yeah,
thicker numbered jerseys when they was wearing them with the I can't remember the the, the font of the jersey, but it had like that weird like it was bold when he was with the 49ers that
yeah,
year they won the Super Bowl. Them
yeah.
two jerseys, classic, priceless. I'd get one, both of them if I could, because they two of the hardest jerseys I ever seen.
Okay, so for me,
I take this one more. I got one more. Honorable mention. Honorable mention is that 1990, whatever year that they had the All Star game in Phoenix, and they had them teal jerseys.
now that was nice. Yeah.
I seen one. I seen somebody with a white one, and it was I don't remember what player it was, but it was white. That's that would be my honorable mention as far as like hardest jerseys I saw.
Okay.
Oh, I got one more. Shit, the the I can't think of the hockey team, but Snoop had it in one of his videos, and it's like a W or something. It's an old school team. I can't think of the name of it, but he had it in his music video, and he was when he was the
What?
when he was riding the bike, where he was sitting on the front of the bike. I can't think of what video that is, but nigga, that was one of the hardest jerseys I ever saw too, and I ain't never seen nobody with it to this day.
Okay. 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 So for me, um, the most iconic jersey of my childhood, it would probably have to be them Toronto Raptors jerseys with the stripes in it. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted one of those with the, and it would probably be the Vince Carter, you know what I'm saying, or the Amari Stoudemire jug. And then I ain't gonna lie, them Grizzlies jerseys, the old cut, what's his name? I was gonna call
Big
him
Country
Big Country. Yeah, that Big Country,
or the
um,
Sharif Abdul Rahim.
or the Sharif Abdul Rahim. And then I always liked it them, first Minnesota Timberwolves, J.R. Riders jerseys, them 9-1s, 9-2s,
Mm,
them was nice.
yeah, them was
So
hard too.
of course the Bulls Jordan jersey with the
Pinstripe,
stripes, yeah, pinstripe for sure. Um, and then
black
um,
with the red pinstripe.
and then Barry Sanders, man. You know what I'm saying? I
The
always
Thanksgiving version.
Thanksgiving Barry Sanders version. I always wanted one, but never could get it. Never could find it. None of that. But yeah, man, that you know. So if I could get one, I'm gonna get me one of those. All right, man.
Thanks.
What's the worst moment you ever had in public?
Man, so this is it's funny because I was just telling one of my homeboy that did it. He had me super fucked up, and I still owe my eyes shot for this. So it was my eighth grade year graduation, day of graduation, or no, the last day of school, excuse me, of eighth grade. So we have our like eighth grade little we kick it at the park. We playing, we having a good time playing basketball. Then we had like a water balloon fight, and then a bunch of us went to Lake Calhoun after school to go like kick it there at the beach and swim and all that. So I'm swimming with the girls, whatever. So I get out the lake and I'm standing talking to a girl, and I'm talking to her, and tell me why one of my homeboys comes from behind me and pantses me right in front of her.
Oh damn.
And when I say I'm noodle, 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 she just looked at me, and I just remember her looking down, and then she looked back at me, and she just shook her head, and I just was like, I literally pulled my pants up as fast as I could, and I started chasing this nigga, and this nigga swam. You know where they had the buoys in the middle of the lake?
Yeah.
He damn near swam to that. I just got tired of chasing him, so I swam back. Like, man, you got to get out the water sometime.
By the time he came back, you was like, forget it.
Man, I didn't even. I think I might have socked him a couple of times in the back as he was running away, but I didn't get him like he got me. He got me good, and that was probably the to this day that was the worst because, like I said, I was straight noodle doodle, and she just looked at me and looked
Man.
down and looked back up and shook her head. I'm like, oh, this Negro here.
All right, so the worst moment I had in public, I think I might have had two of them. I think I got two of them, but I'm okay. Now I'm gonna just share one. All right, man. So we at the church, this church, man. We playing this game called Communist Church, where it's like basically like capture the flag. You know what I'm saying? But it's a Bible, and the Bible lit up with a flashlight. So you basically got you got two teams, and you know y'all trying to take it from one area to the other area, and so we captured the flag. You got the Bible. We scooped it. So you know what I'm saying? They passing it off. They passing it off. We run up to the next level where the sanctuary is, because you got to take it to the sanctuary, put it up in the front where where the pulpit is. So nigga, they tried to hand me off the Bible, my G, and they must have had a pew flipped over, my G. I hit the pew so hard, my knee. I hit the pew and flew about a half a block, my G. And everybody was rolling at me. When I say they was rolling, I'm talking about nigga. I thought I broke my shin. Some days to this day, sometimes man, I hit my shin on something, and nigga, I be like, that's where I messed it up at Communist Church. Nigga, I went. So it was supposed to be a sleepover, right? Nigga, I go home after that. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to the crib. So I'm playing it off in front of everybody because I don't want to, seem like
Right.
I'm soft. But nigga, when I get to the crib, I'm in tears. Like, oh my god, my shit was on fire, boy. So luckily, Mom Dukes had some, some little painkillers for me. Hit me with a couple boop boops, and I was good. But nigga, and I played basket. It was during basketball season, so I had to turn around and try to act like I'm not hurt and go to basketball practice the next day, nigga. Man, my shit was on fire. I'm talking about swollen. But yeah, man, that was my worst moment in public because everybody was there. I flipped and nigga, I had to just get up and just go home, man.
Facts.
Uh, all right, man. I think I'm gonna skip that one right there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to Neef's Nugs, man. Where Neef drop a nug before we get up out of here. My question for you, Neef, is what's the best advice you ever received about staying true to yourself?
Man, so this is a great question, Bench Mob, just because the knowledge I got from a mentor, and that's why I say, if you a young man, especially, and you ain't got no father figure in your home, if you do have the opportunity to have mentors in your life or older men that you trust and they're giving you guidance and things that they're telling you, you see that are always in your best interest, take heed. And one of the things that my mentor, and my mentor, uh we don't have to say his name, but you
Yeah.
know who I'm talking about,
Yep. Yep.
told me at a young age, I think I was probably 12 or 13, he said, you're a leader of men. He's like, you may not see it that way, but you are a leader. He's like, people follow you. I noticed that, you know, the people, your peers, they all kind of look to you and look to you for guidance and watch how you move. And he's like, so always continue to understand you have that power. You have the ability to be a leader. And when you have the ability to be a leader, that means you have the responsibility to move a certain way. And you always want to move with the diligence, the understanding that you want to be a leader and not a follower. And that it didn't resonate to me until I got older in life and dealt with different things, different experiences, people trying to peer pressure me to do certain things, and I just wasn't with it. And I never understood why I didn't even have a desire to do it. And it was, or even the inkling to feel like, oh, well, they gonna talk shit about me, and like that didn't even bother me. And it was because that mentor and drilled in my mind unconsciously that I don't have to follow what everybody's doing.
Right.
I can move at my own pace. I can be comfortable in my own skin in that especially in situations that aren't beneficial for me. So that's the main best advice I can give, and the best advice that was given to me is to be a leader and not a follower. Because following people will lead you down a path that you can never return,
Facts.
and it may not even be the worst thing that as far as death. It could be something even worse than death. The because following behind somebody that ain't got the right mindset and ain't trying to lead you in the right direction will lead you down a path that you can't never. You'll be 30 years down, and you'll be like, damn, how did I get to this point? By following in behind somebody that wasn't on shit.
Them is facts, man. You definitely gotta pick and choose. Like, of course, you gonna, if somebody got the right stature and they got the right morals, then you gonna follow some of the things they done did. If it's like business or something like that, you gonna take things from. But like you said, if it's leading you down the path of destruction, you gotta know when and when not to. Um,
Man, every leader has some guidance. Even
Facts.
anyone who you think is a boss has someone who is giving them guidance, and that's even is technically their boss, not in the sense of taking care of them and being there, paying their bills or paying their paycheck, but just on the strength of just their leadership and the qualities that they bring to the table. Like it's just with everything in life. You never just wake up and know how to count to 100. That was something you was taught.
Right.
Everything is taught in life. If someone tells you that anything different, they lying to
That's facts.
you. That's just common sense.
That's facts. Well, man, hey, Neep just dropped a nug on y'all. Hey, look, man, it's the Benchmark Podcast. We gonna be back. We gotta pay some bills like we always do. We'll be back next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm your boy
Yes,
Broadway
sir.
Beats. I got Neep for me, aka Mr. Perp. Man, hit him with something.
Man, you already know, like I try to tell y'all every week, man, continue to stay focused, stay locked in, and stay safe. God bless.